Hello, oldNuf here. And yeah, you probably have noticed that I've changed the name of my channel. It's because the name Back to Gaming is already being used by someone else. And this has been, it has been used since um, 2012. So yeah, we can check out the channel of the original Back to Gaming channel. And um, I learned this when my daughter was asking me about my channel because she was trying to search for it, and I said just type in back to gaming in YouTube, and then um, she got she was she was shocked. I don't know the term, but yeah, she told me that it's another person playing on the video. Right, and so yeah, so as you can see, you go to about back to gaming, featured channel URB. This was created April 2012, and so I decided to just create or think of another one. It's very complicated, but it's a very complicated name, maybe or not actually. And this is oldNuf. Um, you, I just thought about it the instant that my daughter told me I have to think of another one. And I came up with this oldNuf, short for old enough. Um, I don't know. Um, that's what came to mind. Anyway, I created a video on how to. Yeah, I created a simple video of how I made this intro for oldNuf. I also, you might have already noticed, I've already changed my the name to oldNuf. So I only have 6 subscribers. Thank you very much. And I have uploaded 4 videos of it already. So yeah. All right, this is how I made my simple video intro. It's gonna be used for my YouTube channel. If you haven't checked it out, just try looking for old oldNuf, oldNuf, or short for old enough, if that's even short. Anyway, what we need to do, yeah, so of course just click on File, Open, General, and it should show you this one. Your default, if you haven't touched your any of stuff in your in Blender. I have I'm using let's just close this one. I'm using Blender 2.82 alpha. So yeah, I just click on General. Um, Press A to select everything, then delete. Press on your number 7 in your numbers pad to go to the top view. Shift A, mesh plane. I don't know. What am I doing? Shift A, mesh, select mesh, go to circle. Now we want to lessen the vertices to 10, just like so. So you have a circle. Just hit on tab to edit to your edit mode. Press E to extrude, S to scale, just like so. Um, Shift D to duplicate the just the vertices that you currently have selected, and it will just separate it. Um, Press S to scale. Um, Left click to let go or apply the scale. Press E again and scale, just like so. All right, and I'm not sure of the efficient way of doing this, but I did it this way um, to create the gears. So I selected just two vertices and then extrude by pressing E, and then I have to just scale it a bit. So basically what we're trying to imitate or show here is a gear, a good looking gear. So we'll just do the same thing over and over. It doesn't exactly look like a gear, so because these should be um, the teeth should be at least closer to each other. But anyway, um, that's how I want it to look like. And this is not, we're not aiming for a realistic gear. Alright, so just do the same thing until you create a shape that looks like a gear. Same thing, so just select by left clicking, hold on shift to select another vertices. Vertices. Hmm. Yes, when you say vertices, it's already plural. Anyway, what if you're just selecting one, right? It's a vertex. It's still vertices. I don't know. Anyway, select two, extrude. Just move your mouse up. Make sure that it's like extruded to the right direction. S to scale, and just like so, you now have a odd looking gear. Alright, so let's put a material or some color to it. Just click on this materials tab or button, click on new, change the color to black. Right. I find that I need to lower down the specularity to 0, else it will reflect the color of your world. Currently, the color of our world is set to gray, so it will affect the black color. Let me just show you. So let's view just that and go to your render. Um, oh, that's odd. So what I did is just added a camera shift by pressing Shift A, and then this should show up. Just select camera. Well, if you still have your camera selected, just press G, grab, and then Z to no, grab Z. Um, oh, that's because we're already in perspective. This is not the default setting. I mean the settings here. Just because I done this earlier, And I also posted rendered the output. But anyway, if you haven't changed anything here, your camera will default to orthographic, I believe. And what you need to do is, if you look at your camera, it's setting where you have your, it added it right where you have your cursor, right? So it's not to put it in the right place, just grab Z. We need to pull it up a bit. If you want to go to your camera view, just press 0, grab Z, and then you should be able to. Why is it not moving? Hmm. I'm not sure what happened there earlier, but yeah. Also, the specularity is not. The world that I mentioned is not affecting the color for some reason. I'm not sure what happened earlier. I may have changed some settings earlier that is still in effect here. But yeah, anyway, just message me if you encountered any problem. We want we want our camera to be in, yeah, still perspective, right? And then just scale this down. Move your camera. We're still in the camera mode, so we're like looking through the camera. There's our camera. It's already up there. I think we should be in orthographic. Yeah, I want it to be an orthographic. So as to why, this can be for a different video. The differences between the orthographic, the different views on your camera. Okay, but for now, one in orthographic. So I scaled down the object. I tabbed out, so I press tab. If you're still in edit mode where you can select the vertices, you can just hit on tab again to go out, and then you can select the object as one piece, and you can scale by pressing S, and then just moving your mouse. Alright, but that's how I want. So like I was mentioning, I'm still in edit mode. I selected the areas for the camera so I can grab along the x-axis and just move it. So just eyeballing it that it should be in the center. Okay, so Shift A, you're gonna add another text. Tab to go to the text. And then I'm gonna be typing in the rest of my channel name. Alright, so oldNuf. Okay, for some reason it's my Blender is acting up. But anyway, you want to scale down. No, we want the O to. We don't want to include O. Um, Go to your text properties. Let's just put this in the center. Actually, it doesn't really matter where your text alignment is. So let's just leave it that way. And we will try to make it a bit smaller. So it's like the point here, the dot that you're seeing here is going to be the origin. So when we scale it, it's like the center of this text. So what's going to happen is it's from it will scale it down in reference to this point. Um, I don't know if that's something they can understand now, but anyway, it's moving on. I want it to be that way, and I want to change the font. The font that I used here is this one. It's Calibres Breeze. So like that to get that nifty, or did I use the right word? Just scale it to size, and then give it material set to black. And okay, so what I was mentioning earlier, the world is affecting the color. Look at the difference of the color of this object and our text. Or actually, I think you should be able to see it now. The black is kind of faded, but if you tone down the specularity, it should, you know, be blacker. Blacker. Okay. Anyway, I want the specularity to be black, and that's how it is. All right, for the animation that I've done, I actually set the world to white. All right, and just checking that the text is the middle. All right, so there you go. What I did earlier is we want this to move from here to here. Now the way to do that, if you're familiar with masking in Blender, I mean what I did here, so just put it down a bit, and also, yeah, just follow along. Just, I know my explanations are incomplete for now, but yeah. Um, so I'm gonna add a mesh of a plane, so you can see it. The text disappeared, right? So this will serve like our mask. There are different ways of masking it though, but this is how I did it. So you just scale it to size, just about there. Tab, select two vertices on the left side, grab and move it along the x-axis. There you go. Now, let's just remove the grid. Um, Grid floor. Let's remove that. Floor. Let's remove that. Okay. So this is our screen. Again, we want to move this one here. If you move it, the text here should like disappear, right? Because it's being covered by this plane that we created. But we will make the plane white. So it will be seamless, or it will have the same color with our world, so you won't know, or no one would know that it's there. Okay, so but let's go back to our text. You can select your objects here. Got a text, and it's time for us to animate it. I think we got everything set up. Okay, for this one, um, we'll go to our timeline. Um, in your 3D window, just press I. Make sure that your gear is selected. Press I, and we want to animate the rotation. So select rotation. It should see that diamond thingy there. And yeah, also set my render to 29.97. And so I want this to turn for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, or actually, yeah, let's just put it to 30. And then you want to rotate this by pressing R on your keyboard, R. Just try to rotate it like so. And then I choose rotation. So if you check it, our gear is turning. All right, now you want the text while this is turning. I want the text to, show up. It's like the gear is turning to show our text. So we want to go to to first frame, select our text, press I, and then now we have to choose location because we want to animate the location. Then remember we ended the gear turning at around 30. Just choose from move your timeline to 30, and your text you can move it out just like so. And then press I, location. All right, so notice that we want this to actually move a bit further. It's like so. All right, so now we have animated the. All right, so it's gonna happen so fast that it won't be noticeable that there's like a line there. So if you want to go further, do an extra mile, if you have the luxury of time, you can adjust the uh, this mask by following this. Maybe make it a bit like, let's see, actually we can do this. Just add it to your plane. Just add, okay, add some more vertices to it. Add a cut here by pressing Control R, and then just, that yellow thing will show up. Just place it somewhere there in the middle. Um, just when you click on, when you do a left click, you should be able to move it where you want it to be. But I want it in the middle, so I'm gonna press the right. I'll do a right click. All right, now I can move this to maybe back here, just like so. Let me see. Yep. Okay. All right. So by doing that, we're like covering the. We don't. Yeah, just you should be able to see it on the. I mean how it works there. So right. So it'll look like that. Make it look like the texts are just coming from the gear itself, and there's no weird line here. Anyway, so that's the animation. We're almost done. We just need to set the render. Okay, for the render, your frame will start from 1, your video will start from 1, and it will end around 40. Right? Okay, that's how short it is. So our frame is about 30 frames per second, and we got 40 frames. So let me see if I can show you this one. So 40 frames. Um, per second, right? So it's going to show you 40 frames per second. What am I needing this for? Just close that. I actually don't know what I'm talking about here, but anyway, that's how I did it. And that's how I did the animation. Now, for the sound, you just split your window to set this to video sequencer, I believe. That it. All right. Now from here, just click on add and then the sound. Just look for the sound. What we're doing is we're actually um, what's the word? Syncing the sound. This is what you'll be doing if you want. For example, if you have a walking man and you want footstep, you have sound effects of footsteps. You can sync the sound of the footstep to your animated character by um, importing your sound to your video sequencer. Just like what we're doing. Um, so I downloaded the sound effect that I want to use, and it should put it there, right? Now we want it to start at 1, not 0. Alright, because it will import and put it where you have your cursor, this timeline, whatever you want to call this. I don't know the technical term, but anyway, we want this to. You want to make sure that your audio scrubbing is enabled for you to see. I mean, now the gear will stop turning around 30. So from here, you press K, and it should cut the sound because it's too long. And then just delete this. All right, so now we have a sound. All right, now it's kind of rough. I'm gonna make the sound fade out and see what it does. All right. That's actually it's time to render. What you need to do if you're gonna render, make sure that if you're in your render out render tab or the output properties, you can set it up the way you want it. Resolution, the I told you this earlier. The frames that you want to render, the location where you want it to be saved. I want to save it to. Let's just put it in drafts. Just select the folder where you want to save it. Now, the file format. For this time, I want to choose FFmpeg video. And I want the encoding to be MP4. Now don't forget this. If you have your output, the render for your output, you also should have an audio. So you scroll down, look for the audio thingy. By default, I think it's collapsed, or was it the other? Anyway, just make it show. Then you have to choose the um, audio format you want that will work for you. It's very common to have MP3, but there are others like AAC. This is the compression. It's mostly used for iPhone. Yeah, but we'll go for MP3. MP3. All right, so there. Once we have it set up, it's now time to render. What we can do is create another window. Just go to your image editor, then select your render results. Now it should show our render. I mean, as it renders frame by frame or picture by picture. Render animation. All right, so it start frame 1 and frame 2 and frame 3. We actually have simple um, geometries or objects, not too much vertices, so it should render quick. And I don't have a powerful video card, or I have i5 processor, but the video card I'm using is just internal, or the built-in, uh, the one built in the motherboard. Motherboard. So it's very slow. It's not meant to render a lot of uh, a 3D that has a lot of vertices or complicated characters, things like that. For this one, should easily finish it. As you can see, not even pausing the video, it's letting it render on its own, and you're just watching it. Right, if you need an in-depth tutorial about Blender, because it's the main 3D application that I'm using, just leave me a comment below, or just like what I did. I searched it in YouTube. I learned everything about Blender in YouTube, and I'm still learning. Um, this is actually just a simple animation. There are a lot of tutorials in YouTube you can find. Um, you can start with simple or basic beginner tutorials. Um, some of them are for old versions. If you have, if this is your first time using Blender, then you're in luck, because if you started learning Blender in the older versions, there's a lot of changes that happened when uh, when the developers, I mean, when it reached 2.8 version. Um, and there's a lot of stuff that was moved, a lot of shortcuts. Um, and yeah, there's a lot of things that were rearranged. But if you're new to it, then it should be easy for you should be easy for you to adopt. So yeah, there's a lot of tutorials just like that. Um, Character animations, um, just simple modeling, sculpting. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna show you the output. Um, Output. Arrange it to 715. So this is probably it. Okay, so that's it. That's our intro. Thanks for watching.